And apparently, La Monica is one of the reasons that Alina Habba is being told to step aside. Bondi's like, hey, not so fast, guys. And in fact, she's effectively telling these guys to go pound sand. You get a bunch of very liberal judges that were appointed by, Biden, that were appointed by Barack Obama, and they have their own motivations, shall we say, and their own motivations seem to be conflicting with what the president would like, and he would like to see Alina Habba in the gig. Alina actually, you know what? She's a good attorney. She's had good support around her. She did the right thing. She tried to give La Monica an out. La Monica didn't take it. And now this is the result. I'm sorry. So Bondi's making the point that you guys can't just supersede the authority, if you would, of the President of the United States. And haven't we been through this before? And didn't the Supreme Court already say, no, he gets to have his way on a whole bunch of this stuff? Here's the headline that was in the New York Post. Trump picked Alina Habba, booted as New Jersey's top prosecutor. Pam Bondi says not so fast. She said not so fast because they tried to put in somebody else. And she's like, no, I'm not going to approve that other person. And the president is the one who's going to make the decision on that. So tough luck, guys. Okay, so she's immediately going into action. I like seeing this side of Pam. I got to tell you, I really, really do like seeing this side of Pam. And it's important to do right now because you get judges that think they can do anything. This one, District Judge Renee Marie Bum. How's that for a name? In all seriousness, Renee Marie Bum. A bum. You can't forget that, okay? I don't mean to make fun of somebody's name, but you got to admit that's a good one. Renee Marie Bum announced the appointment of one Ms. Grace, a woman named Desiree Grace, who Haba had appointed first assistant to the U.S. attorney shortly after taking office. And Bondi came back and said, nope, we're not going to approve her. Not happening. So this is Ms. Grace, as you see, and nothing against her. She's actually a registered Republican. But it's the fact that these judges are trying to do what these judges are trying to do. Once again, Desiree Lee Grace is her name. She's worked in the system for more than a decade. She began in 2012. She's clerked. She's basically paid her dues. And they're like, okay, we're going to put her in instead of Alina Habba. Now, why would they have done this? Why would they have done this? Turns out Jeffries may have had something to do with this, and they just filed an ethics complaint against Hakeem Jeffries just today because, you see, back earlier this month, he actually sent out a post on X saying, quote, Haba is a woefully unqualified political hack who must go. And then he went on to say she must be rejected by the federal district court judges who are considering whether to retain her. So this is now being viewed, if you would, as a kind of pressure campaign that was completely unacceptable because the judges are not supposed to be political, even though they were all appointed by Obama and Biden. And apparently, it looks like they were maybe taking Hakeem Jeffries and what he wanted to heart just a little too much. So this action prompted the U.S. House Ethics Committee filing from a conservative legal group. Mike Davis is part of that Article 3 project, and they're saying this is wrong. This is a corrupt guy who's trying to strong-arm some justices here, and that can't happen. Well, Hakeem Jeffries is totally freaking out over it. He made a big little video for himself that he put out to the public saying, I don't care about this little group. I don't care about them, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that. I'm just telling you guys, it's not okay. All because La Monica McIver got indicted and faces up to 17 years in prison, which, by the way, she absolutely needed to be indicted for. She wasn't willing to show any remorse whatsoever. The mayor of New Jersey, he even said, okay, maybe I'll show a little remorse here. But they got La Monica on tape. We're going to show you doing some stuff she really shouldn't have been doing. Here's Hakeem. Listen to him freaking out, panicking, if you would.
This far-right extremist group that I've never heard of filed this ethics complaint right here, alleging that I somehow abused my power by speaking the truth about Donald Trump's so-called U.S. attorney in New Jersey. Let me be clear about my opinions relative to Alina Habba. That's the U.S. attorney right now in New Jersey. She is woefully unqualified and is a political hack. Alina Habba, you are a complete and total disgrace. I don't give a damn about this so-called ethics complaint. It means nothing to me. It is frivolous. It was filed by pettifoggers who perhaps themselves should be disbarred. We will not be intimidated. Get lost.
Hakeem, poor Hakeem. Well, the rap on him is that he basically was trying to intimidate these justices. And because he was trying to intimidate them, as a result of that, he's now looking at an ethics complaint. You know, guys, let's not forget what went down, shall we? I mean, that fateful day in Newark, New Jersey, outside the Delancey Immigration Detention Center, and you had some of these members of Congress show up, and one in particular, all dressed in bright red, really tried to push her weight around, big time, successfully so. I mean, if you look at this tape, it looks to me as though she really is assaulting people. And Alina gave her a chance. She gave her an out. She said, hey, do you want to cooperate here? Just admit, you know, maybe you shouldn't have done that. You're a member of Congress, for goodness sakes. But LaMonica wouldn't have it. LaMonica stood her ground, went out and fundraised off of the whole thing. She had her best fundraising quarter ever, you see. A method to the madness, chaos, disorderly conduct, and assault. Assault. If you ask me, it's alleged at this point, but let's take a look at the tape, shall we? Yeah. That doesn't look good. I mean, I'm just telling you, they slowed it down, slow motion. Look at her. She's elbowing that officer in front of her. So that really, really doesn't look good. And what the concern is here is that Alina Habba, because she was doing her job, and by the way, like this is what she was brought in to do, was she not? Because she was doing her job to try and restore law and order in New Jersey, she's now the one that's getting kicked out by these justices? I don't think so. Like, this is not going to fly, okay? This is not what it was, the intention. This is not how it was set up to be. Donald Trump saying, you know what? We're going to cut that CRAP out. We're going to have law and order. We're going to actually have members of Congress that don't physically try and assault. Now, I get it. Okay, you want to go in and check. You're free to do that. You can make an appointment, right? That would be a normal thing to do. You don't have a protest where you then physically push your way through a crowd demanding entry into the Delancey Immigration Detention Center. That's kind of bonkers. So Alina did the right thing. And as a result, this woman was facing 17 years in prison, and Hakeem Jeffries went nuts and started pressuring the justices. And the next thing you know, the justices are saying, we're not going to renew her. Pam's like, well, we're not going to allow for the woman that you want in the spot to have the gig. So I don't know where we are right now. We're in some kind of standoff. I guess you don't have a U.S. attorney there. Here's LaMonica trying to put herself up on a giant pedestal with the help of MSNBC, you see, saying how great she is. You know, she's just a young African-American woman and she must be a real threat to Donald Trump and the system. No, lady. You actually seem to be assaulting an ICE officer, okay? Like, it's not that hard. Here she is.
Is there something about you that is so threatening or scary to them?
Not that I thought. I mean, I am a young African-American woman from the city of Newark. I love serving people. I don't find myself to be intimidating or dangerous or any of those things that the Justice Department have been saying about me. You know, it's truly unfortunate to be in this situation, but at the same time, it goes back to the political intimidation about this administration. And because I'm speaking out, because I'm doing my job, I think they want to continue to silence leaders and, you know, stop their critics from, you know, speaking out against them. And so they'll go to any extent, especially any extent of cruelty, to make an example. And I am that example now.
And you say to silence you to the Trump.
No, it's actually not that complicated. It's actually very, very simple. You're the one who allegedly assaulted an ICE officer. You're the one, unlike the mayor of Newark, New Jersey, who refused to take any responsibility or any kind of blame. They wanted you to say, yeah, you know, this was not a good idea to do. And because you refused to do that, she had no choice but to bring charges against you. And you were indicted. Because of that, La Monica, McIver, I've said this before, La Monica, as though she's La Regina or something, you know, it's like Italian. La, meaning the, Monica, the Monica. Oh my gosh. Anyway, let me read to you what Pam Bondi said. Haba has been doing a great job in making New Jersey safe again. Nonetheless, politically minded judges refuse to allow her to continue in her position, replacing Alina with the first assistant. That would be one Desiree Lee Grace. Accordingly, the first assistant United States attorney in New Jersey has been removed, okay? Removed, gone. So great. Now we got nobody in New Jersey. Does Donald Trump have to appoint Alina Habba again? Are we just going to go back and forth here because we get these reckless judges, or is it going to go all the way up to the Supreme Court? Because if it goes to the Supreme Court, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. You know what's going to happen. It's happened before. They're going to say he has the authority to do this, and he has the authority to pick his attorneys. Okay? So, guys, you know what? Your bluff is getting called, and it's about time. Okay. Another big story, Hillary Clinton. Woo, I mean, like, we knew she was going, but this one is a doozy. This one is a doozy. Make sure you subscribe, share, like. We're coming up on 1 million subs. It's absolutely incredible. So thank you for all that you guys do.